assassination attempt in over 2 months against former President Donald Trump. How was the suspect able to get so close? President Biden now saying that the Secret Service needs help and Congress should respond to their needs. Let's talk about it. Joining me now, Robert D'Amico, former FBI hostage rescue team member and founder of Sierra One Consulting. Thank you for being here. What do you think the Secret Service needs?
Well, I think they need resources. Right now, with the campaign going on, they're getting stretched thin. I think what you're going to end up see is the Secret Service is probably going to lose the majority of their investigative, like they're doing currency fraud and white collar stuff. I think you're probably going to see that go away personally. What came out just recently that he may have been in place 12 hours before Trump, before the incident at the golf course, shows that he was out there. He might not have had prior intel. He just knew that he went there. But the fact that he was out there 12 hours and they didn't do a thorough sweep of the perimeter, I think is going to show that their manpower really is lacking even after Pennsylvania, because Pennsylvania, you saw that shooter actually taking drones up beforehand and checking the place out. Like most people want to reconnoiter the situation. So he was out there for 12 hours. I think that's what happened. He was looking through his scope to see where the president was when the Secret Service agent saw him and engaged.
You know, it's interesting that you say that he was there for up to 12 hours beforehand, because I was wondering, how does he know exactly where the former president's going to be at what time? But this does show that he was there way in advance. I wonder, after the first attempt, the agency faced heavy criticism. This time they took more steps, but clearly not enough. So do you think that they have to do these sweeps specifically beforehand that they're not doing now? It was surprising to me that he'd be there for 12 hours beforehand.
Yeah, anytime in the security world, anytime you are at a place often, I remember Johnny Versace. I actually had interaction with him at the News Cafe before he shot and killed, and had mentioned something like, "Don't you have security?" He's like, "Oh, I don't need it." I said, "Well, when you're here every morning and you walk back to your house every morning, it gives an assassin the ability to know where you're going to be." So he might not have known Trump was going to be there that day, but he knew that he goes there often, and he is willing to sit out and wait. He may have done this prior. They're going to really start looking at the cell phone records. It may have turned out that he was there the day before, maybe he was there last weekend, or something gave him an indication that Trump may go, and he was willing to sit it out. I think it's just showing resources. It's manpower intensive to clear a golf course. There's just no way around it. And you get to the point where when you've done something over and over, and I think the Pennsylvania shooting was complacency. We've done a ton of these and nothing happens, and they got complacent. I think what you saw here is the Secret Service agent who actually engaged him, I think, was a direct result of Pennsylvania. I don't know if Pennsylvania hadn't happened, if that Secret Service agent, if he saw a gun barrel or something that he thought was a gun barrel, if he would have shot. I think he would have investigated. But since Pennsylvania, I think that's gotten everyone up at the level that they need to be when they're protecting a very politically, it's a political rhetoric back and forth. So he has a lot of enemies, and Pennsylvania shows people are willing to carry out violence. So I definitely think that was in his thought process when he engaged him like he did.
And what is it about this suspect? There's talk about, his connection to Ukraine, that he's had a long history, a rap sheet, if you will. There's his car, the gun. What about all of that stands out to you as someone who's a former FBI agent?
Well, I think part of it is, so he has the criminal activity, so he's not a great guy. He's done things risky. He flew to Ukraine to try to fight in a war that he had no business doing. He had no military background. He just went over there and tried, and then got denied and did some things. So he's willing to act on his beliefs. And then the fact that he had now we're hearing an SKS, which is an AK-47 variant, but he had a rifle. He had one that didn't have the serial numbers, or the serial numbers were basically grinded off. With the scope. So I think you're going to see that he's probably practicing, but where did he get the gun being a convicted felon? Did he purchase it illegally? Did someone sell it to him? One of those things. So I think you're going to go down that road. But it's an escalation of his prior things. He was on social media. He says he voted for President Trump and then fell out with him. And then I think on the Ukraine side, he's supporting Ukraine. Obviously, some of the politics involved in Ukraine and Russia got to him. And then he decides to do something. And like I said, he's carried out his other dangerous activity, like going to Ukraine to try to fight.
And it's interesting what you're saying about the gun, because wherever he got the gun, maybe there's somebody there that's going to end up facing charges. But we appreciate your insight, Robert D'Amico, former FBI hostage rescue team member and founder of Sierra One Consulting. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.